Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my Paranormal Next of Kin review, or Paranormal Activity. Sorry, just missed one word there. I've really enjoyed this film. I had a really good time with this. This is one of those kind of franchises that you go, definitely doesn't need a reboot. What are you doing? And then they come out with this. The trailer was good. I like the trailer a lot, actually. Again, it's one of those movies that on first hearing, you'll be like me. You thought, why are they rebooting this? Why? What are you doing? Get some new ideas, Hollywood. But I tell you what, I was genuinely pleased with this. I was genuinely pleased when the trailer dropped because it looked like they were doing something brand new with it, and they are doing something brand new with it. Brand new style. Look, the old one was out quite a while ago, the original, and it was definitely of its time. It definitely spawned loads of nonsense sort of sequels and things like that. This is done very, very well, and it retains, it almost like it pays homage to that, but it steps it up. They are upping the quality so much here, and I really enjoyed this film from start to finish. Actually, really, really good. And the key to that was actually the lead actress. She was fantastic. The lead actress was Emily Bader. She was great, really believable. From the she what's the story? What's the story in Balamory, right? So what the story is, long lost orphan goes to find her family, right? They're Amish, and then paranormal activity ensues. That's basically the rough overview, so I can give you as non-spoilery as possible. And she doesn't hire someone figures, a friend of hers knows about this, is into filmmaking, and wants to make a film about it. Cue the paranormal activity handheld camera-esque stuff. But it's not just handheld camera-esque. Even in that handheld camera element, there is beautiful cinematography, beautiful colour grading. The drone work, beautiful. It's so well made. And going back to the actress, why is she so believable? There was one bit which just sold me on her instantly. Like, I liked her performance, but there was just one bit that sold it to me. And she's going in, the Amish are showing her around the farm, and she's like, oh my god, there's pigs. And the dialogue is so expertly written, and just the subtle emoting in her face. She's like, no, come in, just don't worry about getting the shot, just come in, look at the pigs. And someone turns to her, the sort of comedic element of this film, it's not Hamid, by the way, it's not hammy, it's actually quite good. Goes something along the lines of, I'm just asking, do all of these pigs, do all of them have really nice, like, butts or something like that? And the way she looks at this guy, phenomenally good. Now, I don't know whether that was a one take, it was just, whatever. It was just so believable. She's great in this role. Emily Bader, bloody fantastic. Really, really good. She plays Margot, the orphan child, looking to know a bit more about her mother and a bit more about her family. Now, let's talk about the paranormal activity element, and if it's any good, and the Amish and things like that. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, they're persecuting the Amish. They're not. Don't worry about it. Like, it's not. I can't reveal anything, but they're not. Don't worry. It's not like, oh, Amish are bad. It's not. Don't worry about that at all. Anyone who is overly sensitive to these kind of things, don't worry. It's not that at all. The paranormal activity element was actually very well done. Now, they definitely spoiled far too much in that trailer. So if you've not seen it, don't watch the trailer. And normally I would have stuff running, whilst I'm talking about this film. But I'm not going to, because it will just spoil it. And I don't want to spoil it for you. It's not worth it. This was a fantastically done film. There's some genuine jump scares, and it's not just jump scares, right? But it is a paranormal activity film, and you do expect some jump scares to run through. You do expect the camera to drop down and someone to be pulled away from it, And there's I think there's like one scene that happens in, but they don't do it. It's not like a tour de force of, oh, this was from Paranormal Activity 1. Oh, this was from Paranormal. It's none of that. Don't worry. And the actual paranormal activity element, I think, was smartly done, incorporating these, say, Amish-like people. Let's just say that, right? I think that was really quite smartly done. I think the cinematography was just astounding. Now, William Eubank has directed 2 films I really liked. The Signal and Underwater. Now, I actually, I've spoken to William Eubank. I think he's a great guy, really nice to interview, really great chap. And there's definitely William Eubank's signature directing in this, right? Rich colours, the colour grading, the way things look, very, very nice. Now, obviously, he does have a cinematographer. Of course he does. But if you look at each of his films, you will see that there is a trend running through. And I really like that about a director. There is very few directors in this day and age that you can look at and go, that's their film. Not new ones, anyway, or people that are just coming up. Very few, in fact. Right? You know when you're watching a James Gunn film because there are James Gunn elements, right? Now, William Eubank is very similar. There are William Eubank elements there. And I like that. There is even, and if you've watched Underwater, you'll know this, he has, also in The Signal actually, there's a penchant for slow motion, but it's done nicely, right? And I said this in my review about Underwater, and also when I was speaking to him, I said it about the Underwater thing. How he incorporates slow motion is done with great effect, and it's not, we're just going to throw this gimmick in because, he obviously likes slow motion, but in this it was done in an expert way, i.e. the filmer in this, fictional filming situation was showing these Amish type kids, elements of the camera, and it's like, oh, look at all of this, blah, 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 slow motion, it captures, thousands of frames a second, and, so stuff we can't see, and it just leads to these beautiful shots. Very small, beautiful shots though, and it's nice that he's still able to throw that in there on a film, and it still makes sense. The dialogue was very well done. You got to remember, this is a film being filmed by people pretending to film stuff, right? And so they're pretending to do all of this kind of stuff, and the interaction, the dialogue, is actually quite expertly written. The writer is Christopher Landon, who I believe he's done some other things, if I remember rightly, which I kind of enjoyed. He's done some things like Freaky, Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, Happy Death Day to You. So that's what leads into the comedic element there, as well as Freaky as well, I guess. In fact, he's done most of the Paranormal Activities, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So he's done a fair amount of stuff, but I think he did really well on this in terms of the writing. The dialogue was just great, very, very good. Very, very good dialogue. Now, is this a scary film? I mean, a little bit. There are some elements where you go, ooh, wow, okay. And the way it ends, I'm like, okay, yeah. No, I can see where they're going with this. And, am I along for the ride? Yeah, probably. They would need to get a good director back. I tell you what, I really hope this is a leapfrog moment for Mr. Eubank. I hope he goes on to something. I really, really hope that Universal sees this work from him and just goes, yeah, we'll give you money for something much, much bigger. Because I think this is a shame. This film definitely could have been shown on the big screen, but they're using it to boost their Peacock subscription. This could have been on the big screen, and I think people would have really liked it, and I think it would have made a lot of money, because people would have watched it, some people reluctantly, admittedly, and then good word of mouth would have happened with this film. I honestly, I genuinely believe that. But I hope Universal sees William Eubank as an asset and get him signed up to something else. And I hope other studios see him as an asset, because he's a good dude. And this is some, interpersonal? This is some sort of personal bias coming through, because I've spoken to him and I thought he was a really nice guy. But when you see these directors that, are able to incorporate elements which are very them into films, they deserve, and they're good, by the way, obviously, and they're good, they deserve to progress. And when he went from Underwater to this, and I found out he was going on Peacock, I was like, it seems like a step backwards for him. So, shame, but really good film. I think it'll get a lot of people talking about it. Is it Oscar bait? No, of course not. It's a bloody Paranormal Activity movie. But is it a good one? Yeah, it's actually quite a good one. They managed to incorporate all of the elements that you're kind of expecting in a way that is smart, scary enough. I think some kids will probably find it scarier. People that have never watched a Paranormal Activity film will quite enjoy this, I think. People who have, I think you'll find this enjoyable as well. So, there you have it. There's my non-spoiler review of Paranormal Activity and Next of Kin. Good film. Would recommend. Shame it's been relegated to Peacock. Think that's garbage. Universal, fucking do better. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care.